welcome back to the fourth episode of the Ameriwealth Talk Show. I am your host, Karan Murugesu. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate the feedback and the questions you've been sharing with us, and it really means a lot to us, and I'm happy that the show is helping you think differently about your financial choices. This is our first episode in 2026, so I want to wish you and your family a happy new year. May this year bring you and your family a lot of happiness, success, and many more healthy years ahead. In our previous episodes, we talked about simple ways for people who receive a W-2 from their job to pay less in taxes. This included strategies like spousal IRAs and health savings accounts. And in our last episode of the Ameriwealth Talk Show, I explained the basics of how the backdoor Roth IRA works and why it can be a smart move for your long-term financial future. Today, I want to talk about one of the benefits most employers provide, something many of us are already using. We see the deduction coming out of every paycheck, and it's often set up automatically, but not always fully understood. That is employer retirement plans and how to start thinking ahead as we plan for 2026. This episode isn't about rushing decisions. It's about getting ahead calmly and clearly. One reason these plans are so powerful is because the savings happens before you ever see the money. Your contributions come out even before your paycheck deposited to your bank account. So it happens automatically without extra effort. Generally, when people hear retirement planning, they usually think about IRAs. But for most working families, the biggest retirement account they have isn't something they open on their own. It's the one they contribute through work. So depending on where you work, that might be a 401k, a 403b if you are in education, healthcare, or a nonprofit, or a 457b if you work for the government. Let me ask you this. Have you ever stopped and wondered why these plans have names like that? It's not random, and it is not a marketing thing. The names actually come straight from the IRS rulebook. So if you ever wanted to know more about how a 401k works, you could literally go to the IRS rules, look under section 401, and then paragraph K. Same thing with the other plans. It's really just different sections of the tax code written for different types of jobs and different employers. So the names sound different and they can feel confusing at first, but at the end of the day, they are all built around the same basic idea. Money comes out of your paycheck automatically. Sometimes your employer adds money too. And over the time, this account often becomes the largest piece of your retirement savings. That's why understanding how these plans work and how the rules are slowly changing really matters. Over the past few years, we have seen steady changes to employer retirement plans. Not sudden changes, nothing to panic about, just small changes over time. Here's the big picture I want you to notice. Number one, contributions limits keep increasing over time. Number two, catch-up rules are becoming more detailed. Number three, Roth options are becoming more important, and the IRS is clearly encouraging people to save more after-tax money for retirement. When it comes to contribution limits, you don't need to memorize numbers today. What matters is understanding where things are heading so you are not surprised later. Now let's talk about one of the most important pieces, how you are contributing. When you lock into your employer retirement plan, you usually see two options for your contribution selections. One is traditional and the other one is Roth. The difference really comes down to one thing: when you pay taxes, now or later. Let's talk about traditional, also called pre-tax. With pre-tax contributions, the money goes into your retirement plan before taxes are taken out. In everyday terms, that means your taxable income goes down today. Your paycheck feels a little bigger. You are basically telling the IRS, I will pay taxes on this money later. The money then grows over time inside the account. Now here is the most important part, and we will spend more time on this in a future episode. When you take this money out in retirement, it will be taxed as income. And please be aware, if money taken out too early, there can be extra taxes and penalties. And later in retirement, the IRS may require you to take money out whether you need it or not. We will do a full episode in the future on withdrawals, penalties, and required minimum distributions. For now, just remember this: Pre-tax helps you today, but it comes with tax rules later. Now let's talk about Roth, which works the opposite way. With Roth contributions, the money goes into your retirement plan after taxes are taken out. So in simple terms, you pay the taxes today. Your paycheck feels a little smaller, but you are telling the IRS, I have already paid taxes on this money. That Roth money grows over time, and when you take it out in retirement, it can come out tax-free, as long as the IRS rules are met. Just like with pre-tax accounts, withdrawals may be subject to taxes and penalties if made prior to age 15 and a half, and the account has not been held for at least 5 years. But when used properly, Roth accounts can provide tax-free income later. As I mentioned before, we will cover Roth withdrawals, timing rules, and planning strategies in a future episode. For today, the key idea is simple. Pre-tax helps you now, Roth helps you later. Here are a few things people are often surprised by. One, even if you contribute to Roth, your employer match always goes into pre-tax. Two, there are no income limits for Roth contributions inside employer plans. 3. Since 2024, Roth employer plans no longer force withdrawals later on. That means you are not required to take money out at a certain age. Your money can stay invested until you actually need it. 4. You don't have to choose just one. In many employer plans, you can contribute to both pre-tax and after-tax options at the same time. Whatever way you choose to make contributions, this isn't about getting everything exactly right. It's about giving yourself more options. Now, here's why thinking about 2026 matters. Because 2026 isn't just another year. It's a year where some of the rules and the numbers really start to change. Every year, the IRS sets limits on how much you can contribute to your employer retirement plans. And for 2026, the IRS is raising the contributions limit for most workplace retirement plans, including 401ks, 403bs, government 457 plans, and the thrift savings plan. Employees will be able to contribute up to $24,500 compared to $23,500 in 2025. That total includes all your contributions combined, pre-tax, Roth, or a mix of both. To make that practical, if you are paid every 2 weeks, 26 paychecks a year, that works out to about $940 per paycheck to fully max it out. Now, once you reach age 50, the IRS allows what's called a catch-up contribution. In 2026, the catch-up amount is $8,000. So for someone age 50 or older, the total contribution limit raises to $32,500 for the year. Spread over 26 paychecks, that's roughly $1,250 per paycheck. Now, here's an important change a lot of people don't realize starting in 2026. If you are over 50 and your income from work was more than $150,000 in the previous year, the IRS says those catch-up contributions can no longer go in pre-tax. They go in post-tax into Roth. That means even if you have always used pre-tax contributions, you may start seeing Roth money in your plan automatically. That's not a bad thing. It just works much better when you know it's coming and plan for it. Now then, there is one more layer. If you are between ages 60 and 63 and your employer plan allows it, there is an enhanced catch-up, sometimes called a super catch-up. Instead of $8,000, you can contribute $11,250 in catch-up dollars. That brings the total up to $35,750 for the year, or about $1,375 per paycheck if you are paid bi-weekly. Again, this is not about hitting every number perfectly. It's about knowing which rules apply to you, understanding how your income affects where the money goes, and making small adjustments ahead of time. Because when you see these changes coming, you stay in control and you give yourself more options down the road. As always, here's your action step for the week. Take 10 to 15 minutes and log into your retirement account. While you are there, check whether your money is going in as pre-tax, Roth, or a combination. Make sure you are getting your full employer match. Think about whether any small changes make sense as you look ahead to 2026. You can also download the planning checklist right from our website. You can find it under the show notes for this episode. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Remember, making wise financial decisions is not about having every answer. It's about staying curious, asking thoughtful questions, and taking steady, intentional steps towards your goals. I hope today's episode was helpful to you. Please share it with anyone who may need a little more financial confidence, because when we share knowledge, we all grow stronger together. Please keep the questions coming. You can send your questions right from our website at Ameriwealthfinancialgroup.com. You can also send an email to info@ameriwealthfinancialgroup.com with the subject line "Question for the Talk Show." And now we are excited to hear from you in a new way. You can send us your questions by a short video to our email. You can also find me on social media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook page so that you will never miss an episode of the Ameriwealth Talk Show. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to continuing this conversation. Until next time, this is the Ameriwealth Talk Show, and I am Karan Murugesu, and I will see you soon.